Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today I actually have a question for you, Mr. ER Man.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Now, to provide a little bit of context for the listeners, there is a TV show on the Netflix that I've already seen the full season. Yeah, I think you haven't seen all of season 1 yet. Show is called Evil.
Yes.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
Very well written. It's kind of like X-Files meets The Exorcist in a way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, at first I didn't really care for it because it's like, it's just supernatural stuff. What about the aliens and the laser rifles and Ricky from X-Files? So, but here's the thing. It actually does take off. It's really good. The main character, she is fantastically written, not pandering, very strong female character without being pandering.
Yes.
Which is my favorite part. But there is... go ahead.
No, I like her.
She's great.
Yeah.
But, basically, my question is, at some point in, I think, either episode 7 or 8, later on, one of the characters has been hospitalized and is beset by this legendary figure in terms of fiction.
Right.
The angel of death in a hospital. the nurse or doctor that goes out of their way to intentionally kill their patients. And my question to you, since you put the time in, how prevalent is that person? Have you or anyone you worked with run into an actual angel of death?
The fictional angel of death.
Yeah.
I assure you, although they do exist, without their characterization in fiction, you wouldn't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never run into anything like that. I've never heard a story.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a story about anything like that. And I've been around.
Oh, I know. That's why I thought I'd ask you.
I worked coast to coast. I worked top and bottom and a little in the middle. And I guess those types of individuals exist, but I personally have not ever run into anyone or anything or any story
really
that tells me to look at somebody odd.
Really? 20 years in the ER, 20 years of working hospitals, you never saw one.
No.
Never met one.
Never met one.
I don't know if I should be impressed or relieved.
No, I mean...
I'm sure it's not.
No, I saw the representation too, and it was the first thing. And then when you brought this question up a while back, no, and then it's not a matter of covering for someone.
No, you've proven for yourself very well you don't care about that sort of thing. You'll change names, but that's about it. You'll change names, dates, and locations, but that's about it.
They wouldn't have to worry about just the the outsider. They'd have to worry about the internal people.
Yeah, that's actually going to be my next question is there like a procedure for if someone were to encounter an angel of death? I don't mean like a hospital type of policy where if you find one of your coworkers intentionally sabotaging medications or being mean to the elderly, you contact your supervisor. No, I'm talking about ground zero, nurse in the ER room, unspoken rules. We find this person, what do?
You tell them to knock it off or whip their ass.
I figured that was the answer.
That is the answer. You don't make anybody else's job more difficult.
No.
It's already an 800-pound gorilla that's tossing you around.
So basically, based on what I'm hearing, is the most unrealistic thing about a hospital angel of death is the fact that not only have they... Well, here's the thing. I expect that type of individual to be very, very rare. But I think the reason why it's so rare is based on what I'm hearing is if such an individual were found out or sought out, they'd get beat into a grease spot.
It'd get ugly fast.
Right into the linoleum.
Get ugly fast. I can't speak for everybody, but I've been blessed to work with some professionals over the years that they hate death in a way that, well, you can't even talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that there isn't an element of situations being pressed to the edge and some sort of miscalculation take place.
Oh yeah.
But so far as taking lives and then exhibiting trophies, no, I can't. That's an embellishment of the to the nth degree right there. I am not aware or have, like I said, or have heard a story telling me about anything like that.
It has to be based off of something because, as I said, I expect this individual to be rare.
Well, they do exist. I mean, I've read about them in the news just like everybody else.
Yeah, I think the primary targets are usually the elderly or newlyborns.
Definitely the elderly. I don't know what the percentages are on the newborns. The thing about newborns, you have to worry about them getting snatched.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a big deal, and it's amazing how an individual can get locked on obtaining a newborn to the point of now that's a strange walk right there.
I know.
They're obsessed to the point where I've seen hospitals change phone numbering systems because the one particular individual.
Oh, is it story time?
I'm just saying. I don't have any. Now, this one individual was so obsessed with having a child. I guess, in my observant way, so far from the exact events.
Yeah.
But she had obtained all the telephone numbers into all the rooms.
Okay.
In the areas that would have what she was looking for.
Okay. This sounds like HR done effed up.
Well, no. I mean, that's the whole thing. She did it over time.
Yeah,
then like she just went and retained some list. No, I mean she put the time in
to gather all these phone numbers to these different departments in order to find the one department
over time
to find
months,
the maternity ward.
Years.
Yeah.
To obtain all the telephone numbers through just catching somebody answering the phone and saying this, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it took to say to try to get them to tell them that extension number.
Yeah.
Doing that and collecting all that reconnaissance. You can imagine that's not a weekend hobby right there.
No, that's not a weekend hobby.
That's a stone cold obsession right there. So they had to change all the telephone numbers.
Oh, I bet that was a bitch.
That wasn't my department. I don't know how.
All right.
I wasn't involved in that.
No, I just remember like every now and again I'll hear some kind of story like a pregnant woman goes alone to pick up some used baby clothes and they end up kidnapping her and they're holding her hostage until she gives birth and they're gonna kill her, take the baby for their own. It's like, huh? I'm not mad at the victim in that situation. I'm just like, why are you going by yourself?
Well,
like across county or even state lines.
Well, you have an established support system. A lot of people.
Oh, that don't have an
don't have
there is actually a fix for not having an established unity system, like some sort of support system. It's called a gun.
I don't know.
I know some states they frown upon that, but still, I mean, if you got nothing else, you need to bring something. A bat, a knife, a sword, a laser rifle, whatever.
Well,
cricket bat.
That's a transition of society where once society as a whole would look at an individual like that and see them as with respect. Now there's an increasing percentage of the population that looks at that situation and sees prey.
Hence why you gotta have the baseball bat.
Yeah, the baseball bat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just like,
hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I have a bat in my car.
A small cast iron skillet.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That works.
That works. Use it in your home. See, a bat is just a bat.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, how are you going to do a 7-inch stretch? Not very. In your own neighborhood, especially if you're pregnant. But small cast iron skillet.
Yeah, that's close quarters combat right there.
Close quarters combat right there. Carrying it around. Makes your hands strong.
Oh, yeah.
And if anybody gives you any grief, you go, oh, hey, it's just my frying pan. It's so you go.
It's
home,
my grandma's.
You go home and cook eggs on it.
Yeah.
But if anybody comes up to you,
you just practice your backhand.
You just karang.
Don't underestimate the power of kitchen implements. Like throw a blender at someone, they won't screw with you anymore.
That's an old back where we are back in the day.
Yeah, everybody had cast iron.
There was a psycho in the neighborhood causing a ruckus with the ladies. Anytime they walked somewhere or visited somebody, it was just them. They would carry their cast iron skillet.
Really?
Yes, that is a
cast iron skillet's the old timey pepper spray.
It's the old timey pepper spray. That's right.
Dang.
Cast iron skillet's the old timey pepper spray.
Old taser.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you that was my idea. No, but that's an old tradition.
That's real.
That's real. It's real.
Oh man, I wish I saw that Twilight Zone episode.
It's kind of funny when you think about it, from our perspective, obviously.
No, I just think it's funny because, going back to the Twilight Zone episode, just some chick, she's got a cast iron skillet, and then Alien shows up, and she says basically the 1950s equivalent of, catch these hands, Krang! I don't speak 1950, so I don't know what she would have said, but she would have, she probably would have screamed and hit him, but there would have been some back and forth. You gotta be feisty to fight somebody with cast iron. Well,
you're going to get hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might as well hit them worse.
You might as well. You're going to get hit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like anytime, any person that's training you for self-defense worth their salt, and they get to the whole, knife encounter, they're going to tell, if they're worth anything, they'll tell you will get cut if the other person has a knife. Like, they're not going to do you, they shouldn't do you wrong, or they teach you some, like, weird anime Dragon Ball Z bullshit where you matrix dodge the knife and then all of a sudden you're, like, behind them and you crack a leak over their head or something dumb like that. No. They need to tell you gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Because odds are you will.
Yeah. It's not like you knife fight every day.
No, I mean, and who among us is ready for a fight to the death immediately upon contact? Yeah. No one I know. Actually,
exiting the ball somewhere.
No. I actually do know someone who is constantly ready for a fight to the death, but that's only because that's only because he just does that for a living, per se.
Oh,
the guy that taught me Wing Chun. I say taught in past tense. Because of the beer flu. Wing Chun is close combat and you can't be up on someone and stay within 6 feet. That's just not how that martial arts work.
No.
Ip Man can't or someone from 30 yards away. He just couldn't do it.
A lot of hand exchange in that.
Oh yeah. A lot of punching people in the face so fast they don't even know what just happened. It's my favorite thing ever. Because I took Taekwondo, then I thought, I'm going to figure out how to punch people in the face. And then at some point in a couple months, I'm going to pick up Kendo, because that seems to be a lot easier than fencing. I don't know.
A lot less technical.
I think it's a little bit more technical, but I don't have to stand sideways all the time, which is what bugged me.
Yeah, I can see how that could definitely make you one dimensional.
Oh yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just wanted to ask about the Angel of Death thing because, I mean, let's face it, that's pretty prevalent in fiction. Nurse Ratched.
Oh, I mean, you would
the lady
stuff.
from lady from Misery, Annie Wilkes.
These like what was the last show? Yeah.
That might be the. No, you go ahead. I got a thought. I'm gonna.
What?
Okay. You know how in the slasher genre,
yeah,
like in the 80s and the 90s per se,
right,
it was mostly male dominated, like a male killer.
Yes,
got a big ass knife or a chainsaw or a machete or the finger glove knives, which. Yeah, there's some subtext to that I don't want to get into.
There's a dude and some cutlery.
Exactly. There's a dude, some cutlery, or like a garden shed tool, like a drill, or drill tar, which that is real, by the way. That was a real movie. It sucks. But I think why the Angel of Death is so prevalent in fiction is because it is the female serial killer. Because females throughout history are known as the caretakers.
Yeah.
So what if one went bad?
Oh.
That's how they would do it. At least in the movies.
Right.
Because often chance, the likelihood of a chick coming at you with a freaking knife or a chainsaw. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is not impossible. But
wouldn't be their weapon of choice, I don't guess.
Most wouldn't.
I mean, it would start there.
I don't know. I'd probably start there because my mentality is if I'm going to get into an altercation with someone, typically would like to finish this as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Right.
Whereas some people, they just don't think like that. I've met people where if they ever got into a physical altercation, they would basically have the mentality of systematically torturing them during the fight. And I'm thinking, okay, first and foremost, either you've never been into a fight before, or you have been in a fight before, and that's just how you do, and I don't want to hang around with you.
Yeah, they're just in love with the idea of a fight.
Yeah, they're in love with the idea of a fight. Or they actually have been in a fight, but they just enjoy inflicting as much pain as possible. It's like, no, dude, don't do that.
There's an old saying in fighting, and that is, everybody's got a plan till they get hit.
Yep. Hey, look, that may come from I think Mike Tyson, but that don't make it not true.
He's definitely the last person that said it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody before him did it, but
fair enough. But but yeah, I just thought of that. Like, wait, that's the female serial killer. Because sometimes they don't have access to, like, the machetes and whatnot. They gotta kill you slowly and painfully. Sorry,
yeah.
So what were you saying about a TV show? I just wanted to get that out.
No, I mean, not a TV show, I'm sorry. I've actually heard people say this.
Uh-huh.
Where they always phrase it in, I heard someone say this.
Uh-huh.
They never...
The rumor mill.
Yeah, they never themselves say it. They heard someone say this.
Urban legends.
Because it's very rare for someone to step up and say this. That something. I heard they let people die in the ER for organ transplants.
That horse shit.
And that is not true either.
I had a coworker. Oh,
we try to save your life until we realize that you're gonna live or die, and
you just let it happen.
Usually.
I mean, if you're like a 50-50 shot of living or dying, you just kind of just give them what they're needed.
We don't turn the switch off.
No. You don't turn the switch off, but
no.
You don't turn the switch off, but you just let nature take its course, either for life or death. That's what you guys would do, I guess.
I mean, I don't know what's happening nowadays, but that's the way we approached it.
Fair enough. You know, this is pre beer flu times, of course.
Plus, you know, younger people had a higher probability of recovery.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously,
under a certain age.
Obviously.
So, you know, people want people want to take certain situations and twist them into stuff they really don't mean,
into urban legends, because everyone likes urban legends. But that reminds me of this. Oh God! I'm gonna start talking. I'm talking some smack about my workplace again.
Uh-oh.
All right, now I don't know about where we live, but I'm pretty sure in a lot of places in the country, and also the world, to an extent, in terms of the workplace, nepotism should probably be illegal.
Most places it is.
Okay, so I guess where I work is a slight exception. Or either that or there was like a deal cut with the boss. Like, not a bad deal where, like, I give you money and you hire your son or some dumb stuff like that. No. I don't think it was negative like that, but, my supervisor, who I don't care for, but, he's kind of worth the trouble.
Right.
I kind of go back and forth on how hard I want to come down on him, but the guy from Ohio are you power tripping, bro? That guy.
Okay.
So, at some point several months ago, I was just, at first, this was like early days of COVID, so about around February, March, May, in that time frame of 2012. 2020, dang it, whatever. I want to forget that year, but whatever.
Yeah.
The supervisor basically says his kid, his son, his eldest son, had gotten into some trouble with the law.
Yeah.
I never heard all the details because
you don't want to know.
And I don't want to know. But here's the thing.
It won't change anything.
No, it wouldn't change anything. It was something. Yeah, it was some. Yeah, and plus the story kept getting tweaked every time I heard it. Right. Him talk about it, because he would talk about it. The guy in question.
You didn't ask about it. They just talked about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It. At first it was like, my baby mama set me up for something, and then there was like drugs involved, and it's like, oh no, my baby mama, she ran away with somebody. He kept changing the story, like tweaking it here and there, to the point where I'm just like, okay, sure, bro. Dude, just say that you got in trouble with the cops and leave it at that. I wouldn't have asked. You're not cool. So, at first, before he even showed up, he had to go from Ohio to where we are,
right.
Which is kind of a lengthy trip, to be honest.
It is. I've made it.
Uh-huh. And the whole point of it was for him to basically get some work under his belt, some time for him to get back on his feet. Right. Earn some money, pay off whatever legal whatevers, DMVs and all that. So, just get some money. And,
had him come down from there.
Yeah, to where I work.
That's tough. There's a lot of drugs up there.
Oh, I know there is. That's kind of why I didn't question the fact that when he walked in through the door, he looked like General Dollar Post Malone.
General Dollar Post Malone.
This dude rolled up in there. Now, here's the thing. I don't care for Post Malone. Just not my style of music. I'm sure he's an okay dude. I don't know.
But
this guy, the supervisor's son, and here's the thing. The supervisor is like this hard-ass, by-the-book, like, nose to the grindstone, waking up at like 4 a.m. every day just to show up at work at 6, doesn't go home till 5.
Right.
Type of guy. And his kid is like discount Post Malone. Like tattoos on the face.
On the face?
On the face.
Oh, man.
Not directly on the face, like under the eye or on the cheek or lips or anything, but around the perimeter, on the chin, the top of the head, around there. He's got like...
Take that money and buy a book.
Exactly. I don't know. Probably couldn't even read.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Yeah, and I'm just looking at the son, I'm looking at the supervisor, and I'm thinking, what happened? Now, I've heard of that happening where the parent is one way and the child is the exact opposite, but this is drastic.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason he even showed up to work is because he was in Daddy's house, and when Daddy woke up, that's when the son woke up. He didn't have a choice.
Oh.
Because I guarantee you, if it was up to the kid, he would not have shown up for work. He would have just collected a paycheck, and that would have been it.
Are we wondering what dynamic?
I'm not wondering what dynamic it was. Basically, the reason I bring this... What?
No. I didn't want to take it somewhere else if you were here.
Well, I mean, we can eventually talk about that, but the main reason I bring up the son is because he's the one that said that to me about, ER. He's the one that he didn't say, I heard it from somebody else. He said, my aunt, she works in the ER. And they let people die so they can have their organs and the corneas and all that. Like, he owned up to it. Like, he didn't say, oh, I heard about this, or, oh, my friend said this.
No, he didn't.
He owned it.
He said somebody else told him.
Fair enough, but still.
Yeah.
The fact that this guy wasn't a dick. He was a scrote. He wasn't a dickhead. He was just a ball sack. Nothing else.
No, that's
He done said that to me, knowing I'm related to you, and knowing you had, because someone said something. Her dad's,
I mean, depending on the situation and the person, we leave them on life support.
Yeah, you leave them on life support, but you don't cut the switch
till the family has been spoken with.
Oh yeah,
it isn't anything that we would.
You wouldn't take it out of their decision, or you wouldn't take it out of their hands.
Somebody is deed upon arrival. They're deed upon arrival. You can throw everything at them you want to. If it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work.
Consult the families if the person's got a DNR.
Yes, do not resuscitate.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys don't flip the kill switch. That was what my biggest problem was when he said that.
Oh, look at those wonderful blue eyes. Hey, don't you have an aunt on the transplant list? Sure as hell, dude. Okay, click. No,
that's fake. Fake news.
Stop reading all those. Well, no, I love comic books, but put that one down.
Yeah, put that one down. Yeah, that dude said so much dumb stuff. It was amazing how he was able to talk and breathe at the same time. My God. But what was the dynamic you were talking about? I mentioned during.
Oh, you're talking about the difference one, where
one parent's one way,
and kid this way.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I probably have mentioned this to you. When I talk about set yourself to being a parent.
Yeah.
Because I think, and this is just a theory of mine. I think that you as a parent, you are going to do 20 years of parenting. Now, you might choose to, 18 by law, you might choose to spread that parenting out over 40 years. I don't know. Because basically what was happening is this child was having to come back home under the shelter of the parent.
Yeah.
And
which technically there's nothing wrong with.
Nothing wrong with it.
But at the same time, it's like it's the circumstances that irritated me.
And I'm not saying, not everybody made choices like the matriarch of myself did. And I'm not saying everybody should. Everybody's got to be led their own way. But you're going to be a parent for you. Like I said, you can do it in the appropriate time frame.
You can do it when you're young and you got energy, or you can wait until that kid's grown. You got to keep bailing them out.
Yeah, keep dealing with that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It just extends the child's adolescence, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, that whole dynamic just irritated me because on the one hand,
that's just an observation.
I get it.
That's the case, or.
I just kept thinking, like, on the first and foremost, I thought nepotism was illegal because at the retail job I had before my current one, like, my store hired people who were cousins.
It was usually a company. It's usually a company policy.
Yeah, I think it might have been a company policy mostly because, supervisor brings his stepkid in there to work. But here's the thing, stepkid's fine.
Yeah.
For the most part, I guess. He's kind of a dick, but whatever.
Hey, does he show up on time and do his job?
When he's forced to.
When he's forced to, well,
Yeah, and then the HR lady who is, like, Look, I'm gonna tell you something, listeners. If you ever encounter the HR lady I work with, if you ever encounter a woman who does one of two things, especially if they do both, in terms of makeup, if their eyeliner completely covers the circumference of their eyelid, like it makes it look like a circle, and or when they put eyeshadow on, they will pick one pastel color like a baby blue and just slap that on, do nothing else with it. They're out of their damn mind. I don't know what it is about the dysfunctionally crazy women I have ever encountered through the retail and the job I work.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, the high functioning crazy ones, you don't know they're crazy until they start talking.
There is a color scheme.
Yeah.
And there's a pattern scheme too.
Yes. But the dysfunctional ones, the ones where they have to take medication, they'll do some weird stuff like that. Or their clothes. Like, I think you once had a coworker who she was afflicted with, genuine bipolar. And when she was on her manic days, she would just wear these loud animal prints in red.
Oh, I wasn't a well, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I've had coworkers do that, but that was understanding was established long before I ran into this one. But I guess the funniest one was this pediatric doctor in Ohio.
Yeah.
And she was about 10 years younger than me, and she came in that pediatric ER like a bomb going off. All these really hardcore blood red colors or animal prints.
Yeah.
She had
That's mania.
She had lipstick on that could have been named friggin'
Monroe.
Crimson Vania. And then have all this eyeshadow on and these going in and seeing these kids all amped up. It was
that sounds like mania.
It was definitely mania.
No disrespect, but that's just what it sounds like.
We were like, man, she's scaring these kids were already scared.
She's scaring them harder.
She's coming through the door like freaking Cookie Monster on steroids with a pistol.
Elmo on steroids with a pistol.
Freaking Elmo on acid. Yeah.
But
and it's really interesting because you got all these kid-friendly things, like there's an elephant for a bed.
Yeah, and the stuffed animals that are regularly disinfected.
There's pastels all over the place. And here she comes in, looks like a friggin' hooker threw up on the sidewalk.
Oh, that's not cool.
Oh my God,
man, that's not cool.
It was a freaking train wreck scaring the crap out of these kids, man.
Man, poor kids. Heck. Jesus. But yeah, for some reason
she was okay. She was a good doc. She was scary as fuck.
Damn.
Ooh.
But yeah, I just keep noticing that there are certain patterns every time I run into like a quote unquote dysfunctionally crazy female. And I don't know what exactly the issue is with the HR person at where I work. Now, she's a good person.
Right.
Every time the website, I use a clock in and out of, she'll fix the time for me, and I appreciate that. But I always get the impression that she handpicks her husband until he's basically nothing but a quivering pool on the floor and may possibly hate her life, therefore her kids, because she has all boys. And she wants a girl.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh, that's a recipe for disaster right there. Oh, that's not good. I've seen that story before. Oh,
well, it doesn't always work out. Way.
I'm just hoping it doesn't end up in a bad way.
No, I don't wish misery on anybody.
No. Actually, there's only one person I wish misery upon at that office. She who does not sleep. There is a vampire where I work. Oh. She doesn't drink blood. She will steal your damn soul.
And your paper clips. And
yeah, she's
there are people. This is where they work now, and it's going to escalate. It isn't just this has been a dynamic with people that they have more control of their life at work on the clock, so they really control it.
Oh no, we know someone like that.
There's a lot of people that's going to start really getting into it because that place of work is the only lifeboat they know in this time.
That actually would explain a lot for the vampire that I work with. Well, she's in a different building, thank God, or else I probably would have staked her by now. That would explain a lot because she about damn near got my entire department and 3 other people fired last week.
Really?
Yes. No joke, like, oh, you her, tell a story. No. No, like, I'm not ucking with you. This is an honest to God, she almost had approximately 8 to 12 people's jobs clipped, and we would have been out there in the Ronaville of unemployment, which,
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no. This actually happened. I won't go into the specifics because, first and foremost, I don't want to give any more details out than I already do.
Right.
And it's mostly confidential because this is like insider stuff and you're not supposed to talk about that stuff. But basically, there's a company that we do business with. Now, there is my department who mostly takes care of what they want,
Right.
Then there's her, who she's basically an account manager for this company, and then there's the company. So there's 3 entities involved. Us, her, the company. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, every so often, we have to turn in an inventory of the company's inventory.
Well, you don't have to go into complete specifics.
No, I know, but basically, she was screwing up the numbers to make us look better. And then when the company is like, hey, we actually need this plus a couple other things because it looks like y'all are missing stuff for some reason.
Right.
So... And I helped.
Something didn't add up.
So the company basically said, hey, wait a minute, something's not adding up. It says you're missing parts. Ow, my ears.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just a coaster or whatever. Yeah, let's switch that. Yeah. But yeah, they basically said, hey, something's not adding up. If these numbers are incorrect, you're gonna have to pay us some money. And she basically threw us under the bus, saying that my department had no idea what we were doing. We can't count. We don't know what we're doing. They're probably eating the parts. And if it wasn't for the fact that she is also kind of stupid, because that's some Machiavellian type of stuff, and I know because I read the book. If it wasn't for the fact that one of my coworkers piped up and, elaborated on a different matter altogether, they probably would not have a job right now. Just by association.
Well, it either is or it isn't. They'd have to have an audit or something. There's no way. If somebody's doing something, if it's there, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really difficult, honestly and truly. It's not really difficult to find a clerical error or a production error.
Excuse me. Yeah.
You start. They make it. You run into these situations in shows, and it's like, the way they track analytics nowadays, the ability they have to crunch.
Oh, I know.
They stick the numbers in the
I
right
get
program, and it'll show exactly what the issue is.
No, I get it. I just kept thinking, like, ma'am, you do realize no one in my department is going to trust you after you basically almost got every single one of us kicked out on the street.
It can happen.
Like, I'm not. Unfortunately, she can't.
I got through under the. I used to.
The vampire can't be banished, but that don't mean we have to be nice to her.
I used to work for the big hospital.
Really?
Up the road, yeah. There was a survey.
Imperialism Incorporated.
It's pretty imperialistic. They're like Rome.
Yeah, imperialism still exists. It's just in a very highly capitalistic state, which, we'll get into that another time.
I don't even understand that kind of money. all the hospitals they own.
Thank God monopolies are supposed to be illegal, but whatever.
Whatever.
Anyway, you were saying
No,
survey. Survey
yeah,
at
the
imperialism.
whole system did very poorly. So instead of publishing all the very poor.
Yeah.
So instead of publishing all the results, they just published our ER. Well.
So what? You mean the ER that's currently hemorrhaging like crazy?
Not the one now, but 25 years ago.
Ah, okay.
So to save their skin, they threw the ER under the bus. So,
you don't need to do that.
No, that was a mass exodus in the next 6 months.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate. Yeah, there's certain people that you should not make mad. You don't need to make ER nurses mad because, well, they always have a job.
Always.
You don't make mad the people who basically take care of your records and finances and your Excel sheets and all that. Because once they're gone, what's to stop them from deleting everything on the way out? And then you're screwed.
The way it is today.
Yeah, don't make clerical people mad. Yeah, just be nice and be respectful and be courteous.
Be civil.
Be
you don't
civil.
Want to be nice, just be civil.
Yeah. And own up to when there's a problem.
No, I mean,
God.
Those types of things happen. These are.
Excuse me.
It doesn't mean.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it isn't.
Mm-mm.
No, it isn't.
Yes.
Yes, it is. No, I mean, they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta. A lot of times, just don't. You can get very reactionary in situations like that.
Oh yeah.
Just give it time. Certain things need to be addressed right up front.
Oh yeah. Yeah, problems, concerns, complaints, all that fun stuff.
Well, just that's what I'm saying. I mean, you just have confidence in. Show up when you're supposed to, do your job, and leave when you're supposed to, and
yep,
that's it.
That's basically what I've become.
Yeah, that's what we've all become.
And not without good reason, the beer flu and all that dumb stuff.
Well, there's a lot of people that are. I mean, keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. I will.
Everybody. Think it's funny. Not funny, ha ha, just
humorous.
It's just interesting how everybody is now living like been living
since I've been a kid.
Since you've been a kid.
Yeah, that that RV lifestyle really came in handy during these times.
Yeah, because
actually what's funny about it is in 2020, I legit had thought about consolidating all of the money I had saved up, buying some kind of RV and then just hitting the road. Not in a, not in a, you, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna go find my way in the world. Not like that. Just in a, hey, I want to go somewhere else because I have wanderlust like crazy. I still do.
Yeah.
I thought about heading out, doing that dumb stuff, going to the city to make a living. And then right around the time when I finally had saved up enough to where I could buy some kind of rig outright,
Right, that's true.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, the world is ending. And then I went, maybe living at home with Mom and Dad ain't such a bad idea.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, because I'm near my family. I can keep an eye on everybody, make sure, grandparents are okay, make sure the parents are okay, take care of them when they, get all down. Bro's off doing his thing, what he needs to be doing.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll stay behind. I'll, not in a negative way, just I'll sit this out.
It would be.
I'll sit this year
it would
out.
Be common sense to stay put.
Yeah, and then
yeah, you can go do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's not a good idea.
It's not a better idea.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I don't know.
Yeah, and then
maybe neither choice is number one and number two. But
yeah,
one is higher than the other right now based on the situation going.
True.
On. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then of course about a couple weeks after the beer flu gets announced, there's several riots in that next door city. You remember what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Which one?
The one?
Yeah, there was like a couple months after, there was like, I can't remember, someone got killed, and then there was just riots all over that city.
Oh. Yeah.
And then you said, if you had stayed over there, if I had gone out there during the pandemic and stayed out there, I would have been coming back once the riot started happening.
You would have been coming home.
Yeah, that would have been, I need to go now.
Absolutely. Because
I don't want to get set on fire.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was about. I just remember going, "Oh, that's just perfect. Just burn the city to the ground. Why don't you?"
Right. And see now all these places, say like we've been to Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is what's happening in these cities. There is a decreased police presence because businesses are leaving and they're shut down, so there's less tax money. So that
police stations are being shut down for various political and ideological reasons.
You have got because it is a tourist attraction.
Yes.
That powers that area.
Yes.
And there is just the bill of operating one of those parks is
it's just astronomical.
I can't even, whatever they make in profits is crazy, but what their
Universal, man.
What their utility bill is unbelievable.
Yeah, Universal, man.
So that's not coming in. So it begins to look like a ghost town, you see.
Yeah.
And then these things just deteriorate. There's nothing else. There's nothing else driving the economy. All those hotels. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why in movies there's like the coal mine in town, or the where as soon as the coal mine dries up, everybody leaves because that was it.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen in some of this, like Orlando.
Like Orlando. What about New York? Because that's basically a ghost town.
That'll take a little time to transition. And New York is going to turn into
Escape from New York.
It's going to be like a leper colony.
An actual leper colony,
like
actual lepers,
sanctified. Sanctioned. But people right now are looking at New York like that's the one place you don't want to be.
Yeah, it's Escape from New York.
Okay, New York has spent so much.
Snake Plissken.
New York has spent the the majority of the 20th century, all of the 21st century as being on many people's travel bucket list, number one.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Well, it's not number one anymore.
No, it ain't.
It doesn't even have a number because people don't want to go there at all. Okay.
Gee, I wonder why.
Even Wall Street's going to pull out of New York.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're thinking about going to Texas. Texas is going to be the next power in this country. They're about.
That's not
cool. Well, let's take. I mean, what are you going to do?
No. I'm not saying I blame the entities at Wall Street. I'm not saying I'm not blaming them at all. I'm just thinking like
Texas, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. New York is
get ready
done.
For a Texification of this country. Okay. Love it
or hate it, and somebody's gonna hate it.
Somebody's gonna hate it.
But dude,
New York is the last place.
Yeah, if Wall Street and those entities pull out of New York Island or the state, no, it's done.
It's done.
it basically could end up like Detroit.
It's done. Okay.
Move it to Texas.
It'll kill all of that.
It'll destroy
Island,
everything.
The
Staten Island, Brooklyn, everything. It's gone.
Yeah, all that high dollar real estate.
Oh,
it's done. It's done.
That.
It's like a nuclear bomb went off in New York.
So Detroit. Which is a shame. Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Damn. I just can't fit in my head. Wall Street not in New York?
Yeah, they go to Texas. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas is it.
Texas is it.
Well, I suppose for some people that means we won't get quote-unquote bullied by California anymore, if that's the case.
Big oil.
Big oil.
Finance.
Yes.
You got big tech. We'll have big oil and big finance in the same state. Big tech is still on the West Coast, Silicon Valley, Seattle. The foothold here is the North Carolina tech triangle.
To an extent.
Well, they've got a huge presence there. Google's got what? Doesn't Google have their headquarters in
Silicon Valley, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, but they've got one up like near Hickory or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, quietly, because it's just a big square building out among the pines.
And yet,
no, there's a lot of big tech in North Carolina. So
it's probably for the best.
Silicon Valley rent and everything drove the smaller operators to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Seattle exploded. The same thing happened to them. They drove all them people out of Seattle, and they're all in North Carolina now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Right. That explains a lot, because that would explain why Asheville's real estate races are just going through the roof. Because I actually did consider going to Asheville as well, or at least Charlotte.
Yeah. Asheville would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
Charlotte's cool. Okay.
But Asheville was better.
You don't want to. Charlotte's, there's too much.
Too many people.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Now Asheville's going through the roof.
Style. So Charlotte is officially a city.
Yeah.
Asheville still has some style.
I want to go up there one day.
But yeah, big tech and big oil and finance will be in Texas.
That state's gonna be unstoppable.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I didn't know that, so I'm just baffled.
Yeah, they stopped talking about it about 3 or 4 months ago. It got a lot of coverage for about a month and a half, and then it just went away.
Probably because they don't want anyone to know that they are moving or something like that.
Well, it's people just, they don't realize how big of a deal.
This is a big deal.
They take the stock. Most everything's electronic anyway.
Yeah.
But still, they move their base operations to Texas. That's going to banks and
everything.
Going to put everything in Texas.
Wow.
Yep.
I just Jesus.
Jeers and steers.
Yeah. No. It's just something I never considered before.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm baffled. I don't know where to go from there.
That's what I'm saying. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen after the recent elections? There's going to be a wave of folks from outside coming in to this country, to North America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to comment good or bad. I'm just telling you here's going to be one of the effects. You already have people of that lineage established in service jobs, say like the town we were just talking about. We were talking about down there in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now those hotels aren't getting, and those restaurants,
mm-hmm.
they aren't getting the traffic that they're used to.
Yeah.
So there's people out of work, about to be out of work, and oh my God, it could be any day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those kind of things.
Then there's going to be a wave of people that are going to come in based on the new policies of the
establishment.
The next administration coming
mm-hmm.
in.
Yeah.
And those people that are going to come in are going to flood into those already depressed economic areas, service jobs depressed.
Uh-huh.
And then you will see people who are not legal citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Figuratively speaking, defending their turf against people who just got here.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to cause a ruckus in the cities.
Huh.
That's going to take place in the next 2 years. You're going to see a blurb here and then a blurb there. I don't know how big it's going to get.
Yeah.
It just depends.
I suppose.
We're talking about, I don't think it's going to, I don't think New York's going to be a big deal. At least not from any immigration coming from south of Texas.
No, it's too cold.
Something overseas,
maybe.
From across the Atlantic, maybe.
I can see like Scottish and Irish immigrants duking it out. I suppose. Win, lose, or draw. It's happened before.
I don't know if I was where they are. I think I'd stay.
I don't know.
You're kind of cut off.
They are kind of cut off, but I keep hearing these horror stories of these really draconian laws in the wake of the beer flu over in the UK area and Ireland, which is a subject I know.
Oh. I mean, I don't know what it's doing to the population.
No, I just keep seeing stuff about, like people aren't even allowed to go into their backyard or on their front lawn to like water plants or anything like that without having some asshat with their cell phone, recording them going outside their own property and then reporting them to the cops.
Abner, Mrs. Smith is watering her begonias. I mean,
I just keep seeing stuff like that, and I'm just like, just leave it alone.
See, here's the thing.
Apparently, the UK doesn't know what snitches get stitches mean.
Oh, don't start talking about that. We'll be talking for another hour.
I know that. I'm just like, dude, just let it go. What, do you get paid to be a snitch? What are you doing?
What are they going to do? They're not going to take you to jail. Right.
That is very debatable. Apparently,
they don't want a whole building full of people that coughing and sneezing.
No,
snotting on each other.
I've seen stuff like that as well, where people will get actually arrested for being outside their own house.
I don't know, but I don't think throwing them in jail. I mean, you just go,
hassling them is one thing.
A little love tap with your baton.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Shoo them back in the dough.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. There's a difference between, giving them a love tap, shooting them back in the door, and actual arrests. I have seen news stories where there have been legitimate arrests and taken out of their home to somewhere else, and I'm just like, look, I'm
right. Are they contagious? What are you doing?
It's like, what are you doing? They're not going out, they're not partying, they're not going to the bar, not like it's open.
Think if you're on your own property,
No, apparently not, which is stupid. It doesn't happen all the time from what I've seen, but it does happen, and I'm just like, oh, that's a Karen.
You mean even with a mask on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they take that stuff really serious. Now, I get it, in North America, North
America.
America.
Outlaw guns, you can just shoot.
Yeah, North America, North America don't care about the quarantine. You don't care about lockdown. You just go around without wearing masks. All right, look, this situation is the exact opposite, where you're not even allowed to leave your house without your neighbors snitching on you.
Trolls are trolls. I mean,
I get it. Don't be a Karen. Don't be a Darren.
Don't be a Karen. Don't be a Darren.
I think there's another word for Darren. What I like Darren better because it rhymes with Karen, and you know what you're talking about.
It does.
Yeah, honestly and truly, this whole thing just makes me happy I'm no longer in the retail job because,
oh man, I can't even imagine what kind of... I
can't imagine what's happening.
You would not be working.
Because I'm still Facebook friends with several of my ex-coworkers from the retail job.
Is that place still open?
Uh-huh. There's a waiting list to get inside because, it's popular.
Table for two.
Yeah. But the assistant manager of the place, every couple of days, she just... you've seen people post these status updates on social media where they're obviously very agitated, but they don't give a lot of details, so you have to, ask for what happened in the comments. And then they'll be like, it's all handled, it's fine. She does that.
Oh, okay.
Except the problem is, since I know I've worked with her, I've worked with her for about damn near 3 years. I know what makes her tick. in terms of that job.
Right.
So when she says some of the stuff she had said on social media,
Right.
and I read it and I go, oh, that happened today. Okay, I know what happened. But for a while, there was a good period where it was every other day where something would happen, and essentially it boils down to she was just being pestered by all manner of Karens and Darrens, snot-nosed brats. So it just wore on me, where I kind of had to mute her for a couple of weeks.
No, you
I'm
have
just
to do
like,
that. I mean, people find.
Like, she got to the point where she got so mentally defeated by what was happening, she dyed her hair.
An unnatural color.
Oh. I got no qualms with people who dye their hair natural colors. I genuinely don't.
Lord help me.
I genuinely don't have qualms with people who dye their hair unnatural colors. I don't. But here's the thing. There's a difference between doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like I used to for a good while. I wanted like a blue undercut just to have it.
Right.
And then there's like, okay, you are basically depressed. You're like on like 3 Adderalls a day. You're about 5 steps away from having alcoholism. It's time to dye your hair flaming orange.
Flaming orange.
Well, that wasn't the color she picked, but still, in this example.
Sure.
Yeah, there's dyeing your hair because you want new hairstyle, and then there's the potential of the mentally ill dyeing your hair.
Yeah, I wish everybody would leave me alone, and then you turn your head into a traffic cone.
Yeah, that happened to her, and I'm like, oh no.
Is that a cry for help?
Probably.
Well, it's making my eyes bleed.
It's not a cry. It isn't not a cry for help.
That's correct. It isn't not a crime for help.
Yeah, I feel so bad for her because she's genuinely cool, you know.
Right.
But I'm just like, oh Jesus, oh God, what is happening over there?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when they first hit the door.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, hey.
Yeah, like, and I'm just talking about stuff like, you know, she's not had a day off in like 14 days.
Don't look at it.
Dyed her hair.
Don't look at it.
Yeah. Dyed her hair, gets beset by all sorts of people, you know. Yeah, I genuinely feel bad for her.
Well, the problem is you would like to just jump that fence and go, what the fuck? All right? But the problem is if you did that, what would pour out of them necessarily wouldn't have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad that you asked me that question because obviously when they walk in, okay, they want to answer that question.
Yes.
Okay, they've got at least a 47-minute monologue.
Oh yeah.
Stored up, getting ready to drop.
Yeah.
If you ask them what the fuck is up with their hair.
Yeah, a soliloquy, if you will.
Right. And you're like, oh, you don't want to pop that genie.
No.
You're like, oh, that's why you don't talk about it. That's why because you know, and somebody.
Someone gonna do it.
You know somebody's gonna pop that cork, buddy.
Yep.
And when it happens, you just don't want to be nearby so you get it on you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
At least when a customer asks about it, they get the
short version.
Get the Cliff Notes version.
Because you can't just open your soul up to the customer in a retail job.
Not really.
Even though there has been times when customers have opened their souls up to the retail employee in that job.
Yeah, they want you to trip that switch.
Yeah. No. It happened a lot at my store where the customer would just treat us like free therapists.
Oh yeah.
We actually have a system in place. I don't know if it's still in operation, or I don't know if the name got changed or anything, but we called it the Lifeline. I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking.
We called it the Lifeline. Say we're on the floor, we're doing our sales pitch thing like we're supposed to, and then all of a sudden the customer just goes into stuff.
Well, back in 1957.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
and,
no.
And unfortunately, just due to how the structure is, I'm sure in other places you're allowed to say, hey, I need to get back to work, or hey, stop talking to me, or hey, I don't need to know about how your wife's dog died 50 years ago.
Oh.
But in our position, we were not supposed to do that. So what we would do is if we saw someone who, obviously there's no selling going on. They're just telling their life story, because you can tell because they're in the same spot about 5 minutes.
That's smart.
Or 10 minutes after they were put there.
Right.
And you just kind of call them up to the register, like you need help with the register or something, and it gives you the excuse to leave that conversation. Well, it's not a conversation, it's more like an onslaught, but still. It's
a siege.
Exactly.
It's an emotional siege.
Exactly. And
lifeline.
Oh yeah, we called it the lifeline. Now, here's the thing. The lifeline was only good out on the floor, because you could always reel someone in from the floor.
Right.
If they were straight up at the cash register doing that, it was a little bit more complicated, because they're...
You mean talking to the cashier?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
that's true.
You're basically holding up the line, and at that rate, the reason it's more complicated is you essentially have to wait for the other customers to get agitated to tell you to shut the fuck up. But the problem is sometimes they would not do that.
I've got a hot pocket waiting on me.
Exactly. I will say this. The two stories that come to mind when it comes to being emotionally, quote unquote, emotionally held hostage at the cash register for me. Two stories in particular. One of them, both of which I came out on top. One, I came out more on top than the other.
Right.
Now, there is a band. I still like them. I don't listen to them as much as I used to. I just kind of fell off the map when I figured out Gary Newman still made music. Depeche Mode.
Right.
I like Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
I like the majority of their albums. I think that everything from the period of Music for the Masses up until the Ultra album is probably like their peak period. For people who know what I'm talking about, of course.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know you don't. Old man. So, basically, I had one of their shirts on at the store, and it was yeah, you know what story this is.
I know this one.
Yeah, you know what story this is. And it was the Depeche Mode, the Rose album, the Violator. It was a T-shirt that I had picked up. I can't remember where. It's probably, I don't know, I think I found it by luck or something. But I was wearing it at work. This was back before, you could wear graphic tees at this joint.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a couple seconds. Anyway. So, I'm checking people out. It was like, I don't know, Black Friday or Christmas or something like that. The final 3 months of this particular year. And I'm checking people out, doing exactly what I'm supposed to. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Where I worked, since we partook in many of the merchandising and the games of sorts.
Yeah.
During Christmas, there was one group of people who we had to watch out for more than anyone else. It wasn't the thieves. It wasn't the Karens.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the snot-nosed little brats. During Christmas time, the group of people we had to watch out for were the grandmas. Because they wanted to get their grandchildren a fancy video game, and they would cut people's throat to get to it.
That's right. Insane granny posse.
Oh, I am not joking.
IGP.
Uh-huh. Oh, I am not kidding. For some reason, I don't know if this is universal, it probably isn't, but where I used to work, it was the grandmas. They would get nasty.
You know, one of the bony knuckle chicks.
Uh-huh.
Car keying you up.
Uh-huh. They would just get nasty, and they would just get, as much rage intensive as they could have, had the ability to do. They would just rack up so much money, and they would get mad at you that you didn't have anything that they had.
The last time they understood anything was 40 years ago.
Exactly.
So they're all mad. And I'm not making light of that. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, they're out on a limb.
Yeah, no. This is like when I say cut people's throats, they didn't literally do that, but they would straight up snatch stuff from like young mothers and pay for them and check them out to the door. They were.
So you went video game shopping and a hockey match broke out.
Oh, I am not joking. I mean, imagine you spent all day queuing in line, and then all of a sudden, some white-haired little biddy just jacked your shit. And then you didn't know what happened to it. You're like, I don't know, you let Timmy hold the thing, and then all of a sudden Timmy no longer has the expensive thing, and you're like, what happened to it? And Timmy's
kidding.
Yeah, and then Timmy's like 8 or 10 or something like that. They have no idea. You gotta step out.
Grandma'd it out of his hands?
Yes. Then they step out of line to go find another one, realize that there's nothing else there. Then Grandma's in the line, and she buys the last one that she stole from Timmy. She's out the door before they even realize what happened.
Oh, that is hardcore right there.
That is hardcore.
Man, that's the kind of grandma you want.
Yeah, that's the grandma I strive to be. Yeah, I want to be that grandma with the tattoos and drinking whiskey and cornflakes at 5 a.m.
That's right.
Jack and Flakes.
No surrender.
No surrender.
No prisoners. No kidding.
No,
that's crazy.
That happened. That was probably aside.
Wow.
Yeah, aside from.
Wow.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite things that I do miss is just seeing that. And I'm just like, I'm mad, but I can't be mad.
You're the Black Widow. There has to be like a
granny version of a Black Widow.
There has to be like a scary insect or reptile that could represent that.
The Jesus lizard, because they can walk on water and slap your ass.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
wow.
back to
that's funny.
So back to the Depeche Mode story.
Jeez.
So I'm checking this dickhead out.
Right.
And I know he's a dickhead because he's like some mid-40s beer belly looking motherfucker.
Yeah. And
for some reason, he decides to get an attitude. And he just looks at my shirt, which is, the Depeche Mode Violator Rose album. Well, whatever. Go look it up.
Yeah.
I'm wearing that shirt. And he's like, wow, I can't believe that, I can't believe, just shaking his neck and just in disbelief, I can't believe people, I can't believe young people nowadays listen to Depeche Mode. That band existed before you even been born. And I said to him, well, people my age listen to the Beatles, and they're even older than Depeche Mode, and they wear their shirts, so what are you talking about? And he couldn't come back to that. Like, for some reason, he had a big issue with me wearing Depeche Mode because, I don't know, they existed before I was born, but people still wear the Beatles shirts.
Right.
And granted, that wasn't particularly funny. I didn't say it to be funny. I said it to shut him the hell up.
Which you did.
Which I did. The only thing he could come back with is just basically trash talking to Depeche Mode, and I'm like, cool, bro.
Yeah.
You gonna pay for that?
Yeah, really.
Come on, Jeb. That's why I don't take you anywhere, Phil.
That's why I don't take you anywhere, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cash register's right over there.
Yeah, exactly. So that one is my more favorite. The one that's my least favorite, where I basically was beset by these two just primordial insects. With the attention span of a squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yeah. For some reason, these two dumb bitches couldn't figure out how taxes work.
Taxes?
Yes. Every now and again. Yeah. Okay, you know how you buy something.
So wait a minute. So they're sitting up at the counter with the receipt?
No. They're buying something, and then they ask for, like, the membership thing, and I tell them, okay, since you're buying all this stuff, the membership's only going to cost this much because of the discounts and whatnot.
Right.
And then every now and again, I run into these people who they just don't know how taxes work. And like grown-ass people, not like teenagers or kids. Grown-ass people in their 20s and 30s.
Grown people. Well,
yeah.
Older.
Yeah. And for some reason, every time, I have to imagine every single time they have to make a purchase, they have to go through this exact same process of, they look at the till, or the receipt, and then they just start losing their damn mind because they're paying too much, even though the extra, $2 to $3, it depends, is your tax from the state.
Right.
I know we live in an area that's basically taxes. I get it. I genuinely do.
Oh, not
But that is stupid.
They're federal tax. Well, they they are.
Yeah, basically F the feds.
But
I get that. But dude, this is state tax. What are you doing? And
never been to the store by yourself before, Scooter?
Yeah, exactly. There was 2 of these dickheads.
You want a juice box?
Should I call your mommy to come pick you up? Take you to your play date?
Yeah.
Give your balls a tug. Not you.
I know.
But anyway, so what ends up happening is I'm trying to explain to the guy, like, dude, it's the tax, it's the membership, this is the discounts, and this is what the total is. And for some reason, he's like pulling out his phone, doing all sorts of calculations. And oh, by the way, he was doing them wrong. I'm not even a math person, but this guy wasn't using decimals or anything like that.
Well, if he doesn't, if he's never run into the concept of sales tax, I doubt he
exactly.
He wouldn't know his way around a calculator somebody held a howitzer on.
I don't. Baby, where'd you get the howitzer?
Oh no, found it.
I don't know. Every time I hear howitzer, that scene plays in my head.
Yeah.
So, and then for some reason, I'm just like, and then I'm just kind of, you kind of turn on autopilot mode where you're clearly dealing with some dumb bitch, and you just stop being emotionally invested.
Right.
And yeah, I'm just like,
it is a button.
Exactly.
You just talk, click.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I'm just like, okay, Sunday Jim.
You're just waiting for them to make a move or a statement so you can react to it.
And then I think he figured out that I had flipped that switch, so that he goes from trying to figure out how taxes work to insulting my personal character. It's like, oh, you look, you listen to some emo bands, you emo. Wear it all black all the time because you're emo. Emo is stupid. And I wasn't emo. And then he's like, oh, it's a kid, not know how money works. How old are you anyway? Without missing a beat, I tell him, 47. Breathe.
You do that.
Yeah. Anytime, here's the thing. You're not supposed to ask a woman her age, apparently. But here's the thing. Most chicks, they'll tell you, like, they're, 5-10 years younger than they actually are. I will tell you I'm 47 until I reach 47. Because I'm thinking, like, guys, you're doing this backwards. Don't be 35 and say you're, 28. Be 35 and say that you're 70. You're doing this wrong.
That will non sequenta somebody's brain.
Oh,
sure.
It done upped him into the next galaxy.
Could you see the wax draining out of his ears?
Yes! Well, here's the thing. This dumb sumbitch couldn't figure out taxes. The likelihood of him believing that I am actually a 47-year-old was pretty high. He about damn near pissed himself. He was so shit scared. Blood drained out of his face. He was like, oh. Because I'm not 47. I don't look 47. I know you can't tell by the picture on the video or whatever you're looking at. But you can look at the picture and go, hey, I don't think she's 47.
No.
And I don't look 47.
No.
So the fact this guy was like, he got weird.
That's funny.
Because he bought it. He bought the farm on that whole thing.
Well,
I passed that speech check.
You were very experienced at dropping that number on people when they would ask you that. So
because I made it a habit. I made a habit of anytime someone asked me my age, my first response is 47.
They like swallow their tongue.
Exactly. Because then they think I'm a witch. I'm not a witch, sonny boy. My skincare is just that good.
That's right.
And it is that good.
It is that good. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's some bitch. Yeah, he eventually paid up and left the store.
That's funny.
Yeah. Stupid motherfucker. Oh, I'm still mad at that guy. Like, here's the thing. You can get mad at the store. You can get mad at the policy. You can even get so mad you call corporate. They're not going to care, but you can do that.
Right.
Don't insult me. Because I'm not the person on the other side of the counter that's being malicious. It's like, ooh, she wants to use this coupon. I'll tell her the sale ended. Oh, and then she says she's gonna call corporate. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give her the suicide hotline number instead. I'm not doing that.
That's yeah.
I'm not. Retail employees are not doing that because here's the thing. Let me tell you something.
We can't get you out of the store till you pay.
Exactly. And here's the thing: if hypothetically retail employees were, I guarantee you there are some out there that are intentionally malicious. There are. I run into them.
Sure.
Here's the thing. For the most part, retail employees, they operate kind of like a restaurant cooking staff. Don't cause trouble, no trouble come to you.
Yeah.
But you cause trouble will find you in ways that you never see coming.
Well, just don't make it personal.
Uh-huh.
We can have a disagreement about the situation.
Oh yeah.
And the policy.
Yeah, that's fine.
But don't make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, that's all. I try to have an enormous amount of patience every time I go into a store.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're dealing with other people,
unless that person is a dick, in which case I'm like, you better have my Eggo waffles right now.
Yeah, don't be a jerk.
Yeah, don't be a jerk either. It's a two-way street, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't make it personal. Don't be a jerk. This two-way street. Just be civil.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to have a lot of patience with people when I go to stores. If they can't find something, it's like, it's no big deal, no big deal. It's okay. It takes them a while to find something. It's okay. I can sit here and be patient. Because they've run into more people being like, where the hell are my shoes? More often than they've encountered people who are very patient with them.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And you give them a break.
You got to give them a break, too.
You just think, okay, I'm going to...
Yeah, I guarantee...
all frantic and...
Yeah.
That's all right, man.
I guarantee you the main reason my former assistant manager dyed her hair is because she didn't get that break.
Yeah.
Working 14 days in a row for numerous two-week shifts, like back to back.
That stuff.
And then all of a sudden she just snaps and dyes her hair. Like no one gave her the courtesy during that period of time.
Yeah.
No one said it's okay. Sage. I can wait here.
You need to burn some sage.
Yeah, that's what you're about to do.
That's what I need to do.
Uh-huh.
That tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Try to remember.
The house or your work? I thought you were off tomorrow.
I keep my work needs it bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sage.
Yeah, we're not like super duper hippy dippy spiritual, but
no, I don't think there's anything.
A little
spiritual. White
sage never hurt nobody.
It's aromatherapy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It does really well in places that have a lot of moisture issues.
Yeah, that's a good idea where you work.
So, yes, there are people that use it as religious. There is a practical application.
Yeah, there is
Not everything is tapped into the fifth dimension.
No.
For crying out loud.
Yeah, no. White sage, it acts as kind of a aromatic. It's kind of like an aroma reset button.
Yeah, it's a little.
That's why I burn sage before I burn incense, because it clears the room.
Yeah.
And then I can burn whatever I want. Yeah, whatever. Just as an air freshener. I'm not meditating. Actually, you should not meditate in closed, confined spaces with incense, because smoke inhalation could probably kill you. But,
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, the thought's nice is all.
No.
You got anything else to add, or you solid?
I've cried enough. You were funny.
I try. It takes me a while, but I'll try. Yeah, alright, let's see. I asked you about the Angel of Death. That was kind of the main thing on my plate, because I'm just like, we gotta get this in the can, bruh.
No.
Alright.
Not familiar with it.
Alright. So, you good? I'm good.
I'm good.
Alright, well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye!